Today we designed 4 cards for the upcoming Winter Soldier hero. Hi everyone, this is the Game Design Raccoon. My name is Arthur, and on this channel I talk game design, game tinkering and fan-made content for Marvel Champions and other games. Today I'm excited to show you the custom cards I designed to complete the hero kit for Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, who was officially revealed just 2 weeks ago. Make sure to like, subscribe and stick around until the end of the video to get access to all 4 custom cards. Winter Soldier's gameplay revolves around 2 main mechanics as shown in the FFG article. First one is his cybernetic arm upgrade. You can play it from turn 1 thanks to Bucky's alter ego ability. You pay 1 resource and you put it into play. Once per round, it generates a resource that can only be used to pay for an attack event. This event deals +1 damage, and his own hero-specific events gain an additional bonus when paid for with the arm, like gaining overkill for instance. And second mechanic, his hero ability. Every time you defeat a minion, you remove 2 threats from his scheme. Plus a fun gimmick he has, up until now at least, is that every single one of his events, even the defense ones, has the attack trait, and well, I really want to keep that going in my design. Anyway, it consists of his arm, a bunch of events, the safe house, maybe another support, and at least 4 upgrades. As a strength is well, he's good at everything. He has strong stats in hero form, an easy setup thanks to his alter ego ability. He has excellent traits, soldier and shield, and even spy through one of his upgrades. He's not too dependent on minions, unlike Thor or Valkyrie. That really was a problem with those previous designs. He has a way to generate minions himself, thanks to his safe house number 30. And finally, he has access to stun, confuse, and damage prevention. A very powerful combo of effects. His main weakness is that he really only have 1 arm to exhaust each turn. A good problem to have, but still limiting with so many attack events. He has no thwart events. He relies heavily on defeating minions to remove threats, for now at least. His safe house is great, but since it's an alter ego action, it can't be used every turn unless you manage to flip every turn, and even then it really is useful when you go from alter ego to hero form so you can defeat the minion immediately afterwards. There are still 5 unrevealed cards in his kit, likely a mix of 2 events, 0 to 1 player side schemes, 0 to 1 support, and 2 to 3 upgrades. One thing's for sure, he won't have a signature ally since his card number 1 is his cybernetic arm, which tells a great story. He is a lone character who doesn't need no friends, even though he has some in the comics. Regarding design opportunities, no weapon upgrades has been shown in the article yet. Maybe he would need a thwart event. It still being tagged as an attack would be great. Another way to bring minions into play would enhance his hero ability. And finally, maybe a new resource generator, or a way to ready his arm rather. That's probably too strong, so I ended up not adding any more resources. So here's what I came up with. For cards number 2 and 3, he didn't have any thwart events, so I designed 2 that gives him 8 events in total, all with the attack trait, 2 of which are defenses and 2 of which are thwarts. It took me some thinking to make it feel natural to his kit. My first version was something like deal 2 damage to a minion if that minion is defeated, remove 3 threats from a scheme, and if cybernetic arm was used, deal +1 damage and remove +1 threats. But I wasn't fully convinced, it seemed too generic. So I landed on the idea of a card called Tough Interrogation that brings a minion into play and then interrogate it. It reads, Tough Interrogation, 1 cost event, attack thwart, hero action. Discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion, put that minion into play engaged with you, deal 2 damage to that enemy and remove 2 threats from a scheme. If you exhausted cybernetic arm to pay for this event, remove 2 additional threats. Tough Interrogations ends up doing quite a bit for its cost. You put a minion into play, which is supposed to be a cost because you still have to deal with it if it's a strong minion like we see more and more, then deal 2 damage and remove 2 threats. But it's not that different from Looking for Trouble in Aggression, which also puts a minion into play and removes 3 threats from the main. In this case, it costs 1 more, but trades 1 less threat removal for 2 damage. So this is straight up a worst card unless you pay it with the cybernetic arm for a total of 3 damage and 4 threats. Then it is much better than looking for trouble. But remember, you can only use your arm once per turn, so you have to make choices. And it also works on side schemes, which is a big upside, but that is more fitting for a hero card, I think. They are supposed to be a bit stronger. Next, I designed 3 upgrades. I didn't include another support card. I wanted to make his card Alpine, but that would have been another alter ego action only, probably, like his safe house number 30, and that felt like too much for me. I thought about giving him 2 weapons, a knife and a gun, but his kit seems to lean towards a more close combat direction, so I got rid of the firearm. I also scrapped an idea involving a targeting HUD that focuses minions the turn they interplay. And what else? I considered a second copy of Silent Infiltration because I just love this card, but it felt like the easy way of doing it. And I wanted to express his military Black Ops training mode deeply, so I split all those ideas I had into 2 upgrades. And that leads us to card number 11, Contingency Plan. This is a 2-cost upgrade with the preparation trait. Interrupt. When you would be defeated, discard Cybernetic Arm and remove Contingency Plan from the game. Ready your identity, flip to alter ego, and set your hit point dial to 3. Failure was never an option. These cards really reflect his special forces background, always having a backup plan. I love the flavor here, sacrificing his arm dramatically for a last-second escape. Mechanically, it's like a 3-cost card rather than 2, because you'll need to repay the arm in alter ego next turn. I also like how it makes his alter ego ability relevant mid-game, not just on turn 1. I almost made this an event where you discard the arm for a very powerful effect, but I had way too many ideas already to squeeze into a single card for the event. Card number 13, Living Weapon. This is a 1-cost upgrade. Skill, title, hero response. After you defeat an enemy, deal 1 damage to an enemy. He's not just a man, he's a weapon, a living weapon, one you can aim. This card is skill and title traded because it is the result of his Red Room traumatic training. He's literally called a living weapon in the comics. Mechanically speaking, that makes him a killing machine with a lot of momentum. The more you defeat enemies, the more you chain attacks and defeat enemies. It's especially useful for popping tough status cards or softening the next target. I avoided making it an attack to prevent triggering Retaliate, but that also prevents him from using his own hero ability with the living weapon damage, which should encourage him to use his numerous actual attacks. At 1 cost, it's cheap, so it cannot be perfect, right? Especially compared to Gamora's sword, which I find overpriced by 1 anyway, while Living Weapon is a bit more conditional and important to Winter Soldier's overall gameplay loop. So it balances out, I think. Card number 15, Tactical Knife. This is a 2-cost upgrade, weapon, restricted. Winter Soldier gets +1 attack and his basic attacks gains piercing. Hero action, attack, return Tactical Knife to your hand, deal 2 damage to an enemy. I debated giving piercing to all attacks instead of the +1 basic attack, but that felt too strong and would have made Wolverine jealous. It should probably stay his thing. For 3 effective resources, the knife is already pretty good, but is especially good when it costs only 2 effective resources when you get it back into your hand. Remember though, this is a hero card, and upgrades are usually the best among them. The extra cool little thing is to bounce it back to your hand to deal 2 damage, and this is an attack, so it triggers Winter Soldier's ability. It is perfect to finish an enemy, and it hopefully looks so thematic to you as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check the description below to download all the cards in PNG format. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments if you like those cards and all the official ones. Thanks for watching and see you next time.